And hello everybody, and welcome back to Ero PlayStation F1, the pinnacle of Ero. Today we are at the beautiful track of Suzuka in Japan. I am Cameron Don. I have the pleasure of being able to commentate today in F1. Sadly, Luke Jobson, who would normally join me, is not here today, so I will be taking over for today, and I will be by myself. We have a Mercedes of Jensen out first, I believe. 18 drivers today. Did have 19, but Anthony Visa has had a issue with his game, which has resulted in him just leaving before the lobby has started. So we are on 18 drivers for today, still a good amount in F1. A few F2 drivers racing today, that being Connor Ryan, or Astros, who is taking over for the absent Mikel Fitza, or Nestic, in the Alfa Romeo. And we have Loki making his awaited return to F1. He is racing today in the Aston Martin as Joshua Evans is absent. So he will take in for his C. Aston Martin very strong in the constructors, so it'll be interesting to see if Loki can do well. And also, may potentially fight with his former teammate for many, many seasons, Sniper Arctic, who is in the Mercedes. So I'm going to go back to Jensen, because of course Jensen is the leading car. He does have a train of cars behind, i.e. the two Alpines of Enzo and Axa. As we're going to go on board with Jensen for his lap, I am going to get a track map up quickly as he goes round the last corner now. And then he will go up into turn 1, the right hander, no line. You will really want to brake when you hit the curb in 5th, which is reasonable. Up into turn 3, then turn 4. You really don't want to be hitting these curbs much. Turn 5 into the right hander of turn 6, and then up the big left hander of turn 7. He does it really well. This is a good first lap. Up into turn 8, he enters sector 2. Not invalidating there. Turn 9, don't want to ride the curb much there, or your car will bottom out. Up into turn 10, and then the left-hander of turn 11. He does it relatively well, as we can see the two Alpines behind also on their laps. He comes through turn 12, the big right-hander, and he'll go into the double left-hander of turn 13, turn 14. Will he do it well? It looks like he does it extremely well, and he's going to go down the back straight as he will enter sector 3, and he will be on a 1 minute 12.3 in the first and second sector. He's going to go around turn 15, and then the chicane, turn 16 to turn 17, and to end it off the last turn, turn 18. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 28.9 to start us off. It's going to be Axa next, a 29.1. Will Enzo do any better? Enzo will say a 30.2. So Axa a bit far behind. Jensen already going nearly faster than the pole time in F2. There's a load of drivers coming across the line. Vespa 30.2, Lars de Vlinden 29.4, Sieb, IRT Sieb 29.3. I'm saying his name so wrong, I'm so sorry. I believe that's a... I can't tell what car that is. That's Loki and Williams in front. Next, Luno goes P5 up to 29.897. Loki is next at 30.2. We'll go P9 at the back of the grid. So far, we then have a Ferrari, I believe, of Ken next. What will Ken be able to do? P5 up to 29.7 is then a McLaren of Boompage 29.7. We have Panos 29.6. We then have Foley P4 with a 29.48. Look how close this grid is. 5,000 separating Foley and Lars van Lunden. And then just short about 32 thousandths between Ken and Bupic, and then 2 thousandths between Luno and Astros. Unbelievable stuff. I believe we have Ayrton starting his lap, and we're going to ride on board with him, having a disconnect last week. So he really needs to have a good race today, as people have highly anticipated him as a championship contender for the season. So a disconnect is not possible again today if he's looking to continue being in the fight for the championship. Well, I mean, it's only the second race, but you get what I mean. Like, early on in the season, early expectations. As Nathan came across the line of a 53.4, I imagine he spun on that lap by the looks of things for the time. As he goes round to turn 11, and we'll go into the massive right-hander of turn 12. Keeping actually quite out wide compared to a few others would do, then into the double left, 13 into 14. Maybe a safe lap, I'm not so sure. Like, not many apexes he's hitting. I could be totally wrong though. As he's going to come around turn 15, enter sector 2. He's on a 12.5. So compared to Jensen, that could be in and around P2, P3 right now for Ayrton. As he's going to come around the last corner, he's going to cross the line, a 29.2, P3 it is. So I was right. He's just over a tenth behind AXA, the champion last season. As AXA is right behind him, having just came out of the pits. That's a beautiful helmet there from AXA. You can see just below the gears. Oh, Jacob! 29.252 from Jacob. I'm sorry I did not see that. That's an extraordinary lap from Jacob there. As he goes just under 300ths behind Mikael Sorensen. I need to remember it's Mikael Sorensen, not Ayrton. I keep on calling him Ayrton, but his real name isn't actually Ayrton. So I need to remember that. As Loki, Sniper, I mean, he is on the lap. Axel lets him pass, which is good to see. What will Sniper be able to do? He goes down to 5th there, which is interesting. But he's going to go around turn 14 nonetheless, and he's going to go up to turn 15. Yeah, turn 15. A nice fully blacked out helmet by those things, maybe a little bit of silver and purple. He's going to come up to turn 16, 17. Will he use a lot of chicane? Yes, he will. Very good. Into turn 18, puts the power down early. It's a good lap. It's a 29.6. We'll put him P9 provisionally. As AXA has now started his lap, we'll watch on board with him as he has to improve by about a tenth and a half to get to Jensen. So interesting to see if AXA will be able to do that. Oh, there's a little bit of a jolt there by riding the curb a little bit. We'll see. Is he going to be up on this time, or is he going to be down on this time? He's going to come across the first sector now. He is just under a tenth up with a purple sector 1. So right now it is looking like a good lap for AXA. He just has to improve maybe about another tenth to secure P1 provisionally right now. As he comes around turn 11 and into turn 12, he will go with a few drivers behind on the lap. I believe I see a McLaren there of Seb on a lap, who currently sits P5. But anyway, watch back with AXA. He's going to go for the double left-hander of turn 13 and turn 14. He looks to do it well. What will his time be right now is the question. He will currently be 3.5 tenths up. This is a wonder lap. Where is he? What time is he going to be able to set? It looks like it's going to be maybe about a 28.7, 28.8 as of right now. And she's going to come around the last corner, and it's going to be AXA with a 28.6, 4.5 tenths faster than his time, and goes just short of 3.5 tenths clear of Jensen. But Jensen is how much up on his time? 4.5 tenths up. So Jensen's on for like a 28.4, 28.5 right now. This is incredible between the two drivers. Jensen comes round the last two corners. And what is Jensen going to get? Jensen's going to come across the line. A 28.4 will go 2 tenths clear of AXA. So the Shizou teammates both battling for P1 and P2 right now. Is anyone else coming across the line? I see Ferraris soon. Ken starting his lap, I believe. Vespa also starting his lap. And then a massive, massive train of cars that I see behind. I believe that is Enzo first? Or is it AXA? No, it is AXA. And then it is Mikael Sorensen, who will be starting his lap soon. Then we have Astros. And then we have a McLaren of... Oh, Bumpage is actually on a lap. I need to actually check what his real name is, because I don't want to keep on messing up his name. I don't want to keep on calling him like Bumpage when it's like, you know, nothing like that. I don't know how to say his name. As he's going to come round the last 3 corners now, and we'll see what he can set. Let me see. Thomas, I will remember that. Thomas coming round the last corner. What will it be? It'll be a 29.7. We'll put him into P13, the exact same time as Ken. So that's really interesting. As someone just set a new time there. It was Foley. Foley goes P6. Luno goes P3 with a 28.8. Luno. Unbelievable. What a brilliant lap by Luno. So Foley ends up being P6 now. 12 thousandths clear of Sieb. But I want to make sure that I also can say his name correct now as well. Where is his name? Let me find it. It is literally Sieb. Okay. I'm going to say that wrong the whole time. Which is a bit sad. Oh, Mikkel Sorensen is spun in his lap! As he's just backed off into the wall as well. He was a 10.5 up. As Ken went 7 tenths faster. I'm sorry I missed out on that. A 29 for Ken. As Jet's on the lap. Foley's on an in lap. Anyone else is what I'm trying to notice. As everyone is staying out the way for Jacob Tucker, which is really good to see. But the question is, will Jacob be able to be faster? He's going to cross the Sector 2 line now. He's down in his time by nearly a tenth, so maybe Sector 2 is where he can gain this time back and overtake Mikkel Sorensen. Will he do it? Is the question. He's going to go around the last corner now. What is it going to be? Is he going to improve? He improves by 8 thousandths, but it won't be enough to move up any positions. And Jet will stay P6 right now. As is there anyone on a lap? Sniper on a lap? Yes, Sniper is on a lap. He is currently down on his time by 3 hundredths. Currently sitting P13 with his teammate currently provisional pole. As he goes a bit wide. I don't know if that's like the better line though, but we'll wait and find out. As he goes round turn 12. And then the double left-hander of turn 13, turn 14. Rides the curb a little bit, but does it well. That is a good... The double left-hander for Sniper. Sniper's going to come across a second. The second sector time is going to be a 12.6 right now. He is 3 tenths up on his time though. A purple sector 2 apparently. This could put him potentially around P7, P8 right now for Sniper, which would be a very good lap. As he goes around the last corner now, where will it be for Sniper? It will be P10. So, I was saying P7 potentially, because you can see there's 4 drivers in the 29.3s. He's only 23 thousandths off of Enzo, who currently sits P9, and then he's only about 8 hundredths off of Sib, who's in P8, and then just under a tenth off Foley. As I imagine most drivers will be coming out now for their last lap. as Vespa is going to be starting his final lap right now. Currently sitting P16 on the grid. I had the chance to do a few laps against him last week when I raced in F1 last week at Bahrain. Does it in 5th, which is good. We'll see if he's able to do any better through Sector 1. As, yeah, most drivers are coming out now. It's a hurdle of cars coming out now for their out laps to then start the final lap. Vespa is just under a 10th up on his time, but when you look at the times, he has to improve by about 4 attempts to get to Conor Ryan. So he has to have a massive, massive improvement here. Someone who's massively underperforming as well. Jean Vissa, he says he's had no practice for this whatsoever. Currently finds himself sitting in P13. As that's someone set a lap, and that is Enzo. Enzo goes 2 tenths faster, goes up to P5 right now. A 29.1, puts himself about 400ths clear of Mikkel Sorensen. But we're going to go back down to Vespa, who's backed out of his lap. Yes, Vespa is backed out of his lap and is saving now. So it looks like he's going to wait and do a lap at the same time as everyone else. As Jensen is now going to be starting his lap. Currently on pole, but that's not to say he will be on pole. We will wait and find out what he can do on this lap, as we'll ride on board with him. Also, not far behind him as well is Mikkel Sorensen, both debut drivers this season. So we will see if perhaps Mikkel Sorensen can improve by nearly a second. About 8 tenths to a second improvement for him would put him pole right now, unless Jensen improves. This is a brilliant first sector. This is so nice. Watching F1, you get all the best racing. Jensen is currently down in his time by 200ths. So currently Jensen is not improving as Jensen spins into the wall. So we're going to go back to Mikkel Sorensen, who we won't be able to see if he's improving until he gets to the second sector, until he gets to the end of the second sector, I should say, as a lot of drivers piling up right now, trying to start their lap. As a lot of drivers are just coming across the line now, only with a few seconds left, 20 seconds left in quali. They all better hurry up, as Enzo retires in the pit lane. Enzo will be starting from P5 at the highest, and Sniper as well, P10 at the highest. So not the greatest from him, but Mikkel Sorensen crossing the second sector line is a 10.5 up in his time. This could put him potentially in front of Ken if he can improve in the third sector. But what will it be for Mikkel Sorensen? He sits P6 right now. He might get P5. Can he get P4 is the question. He will get P5. He will fall short of trying to beat Ken. Mikkel Sorensen will be starting P5 at the highest, as we have a Ferrari of Vespa crossing the line. Vespa will stay P16. We then have a Mercedes of Jensen, who will enter the pit lane. We next have a Aston Martin and a McLaren, with the McLaren getting a tow, as that is Loki, I believe. No, it's Jerome. Jerome backed out of his lap. Oh! Jerome invalidated on his lap. Anyway, crossing the line. Seb stays P9. Foley stays P8. Jerome Visa will be starting from P13 at max. Unbelievable. Thomas goes P11. That was... who set a time there? Panos, P6 with a 29. Falls just short of beating Mikkel Sorensen. We have a Red Bull. I believe that's Van der Linden. No, it's not. It's Nathan goes P16. We then have 2 Alpha Males. Conor Ryan coming across the line. He's the one in front. Backs out. We have Jet. P5 with a 28. He manages to get into the 28s. Only 5 drivers right now in the 28s. That's quality over by the looks of things. Unless Loki sets the time. He does a 29.8. Puts himself P15. That is qualifying over. Wow. Near enough rapping during all that. Trying to speak that loud. Trying to speak that fast. But Luno gets P3. And Jeroen Vissa is in P14 out of 18 drivers. That is a bit low for the guy who got P2 in the last race. So we will have to wait and see what he can do in the race, if he can score any points. As like I said, he currently sits P2 in the championship, but as you can see here, this is the grid for the race. Jensen getting pole. Did he get pole in the first race? He did not. It was Axis. So that is Jensen's first pole in ERO, and a very good pole as he beats AXA by a tenth. Then a massive jump, a 3/10 gap between AXA to Luno. Luno in P3, very, very good from Luno. We then have Ken in P4. We then have Jet in P5. We have Mikkel Sorensen in P6. We then have Panos in P7. Enzo in P8. Foley in P9. And to round off the top 10, we have Sieb then in P11. We have Sniper P12. We have Thomas, then Larsen van Linden, Jerome Visa, Loki Chibs, Astros, Nathan, and Vespa at the back. The only driver to be in the 30s. So we had 5 drivers in the 28s. Everyone else was in the 29s except for Vespa at the end there. As, will it be rain? No, it will not. None of us have saw rain in Japan. No Trackers, no tier has saw rain. So they're very interesting to see with that. So 15 seconds until we are lights out. So, here we go. So 6 people watching F1, I salute you. Not many people, but I mean, it's fine. So, we're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. It's lights out and away we go as Enzo gets a jump start. What was that? Enzo, I have no clue what that was from Enzo, but Enzo has the biggest jump start ever. As we have to watch at the back of the field. AXA's gone! AXA spun! A disaster for AXA as he hits the curb in turn 1. I was too busy paying attention with Enzo's jump start. AXA is to the back of the grid as a chaos is unfolding at the back of the grid. Jet is gone. Astros is gone. Loki is gone. Jerome is gone. This is mayhem at the back of the grid right now. As we can look up to the top, Luno has fallen down. Ken moves up into P... Oh, well, no, he technically stays P3, but would be P2 without Enzo's jump start. As, let's see, have a look at the tyres. Everyone is on the hards, except for except for Lars, who's on the mediums, Thomas, who's on the mediums, Jervon, who is on the mediums, and Loki on the mediums. So, a Red Bull, a McLaren, and both Aston Martins on the medium compound tyres. Everyone else is on the hards, as we just saw there. AXA getting past Vespa, trying to not be held up as much, as AXA now has to fight his way back up the field from spinning on the first lap. But Enzo, that was an insane jump start from Enzo. That was the biggest jump start I think I've ever saw. Not being mean or anything, but like, he started so early as he goes in now, tries to go in, nearly bottles it in the pits. But Enzo in for the drive-through penalty, as Jensen now takes back the lead of the race, as he has Ken behind him, with Luno back up in the podium positions, and then Mikkel Sorensen, Panos, Sniper, Lars, Thomas, Seb, and Jerome. Jerome are already up into the points, as AXA already back up into P12 after spinning. Most drivers at the back actually deciding to pit, Astros and Nathan being the two of those. Connor looks to be getting his front wing repaired. Does Nathan do the same? I believe not. Nathan was just a change of tyres. Let's look at the positions gained. So we have Jensen staying, Ken already up to, Luno staying, Mikkel Sorensen up to, Panos up to, Sniper up 5, and Lars up 6. So Lars has already went from P13 to P7, as that is a spinner, and it's Nathan at the back. But Sniper from P11 to P6. We have Thomas from P12 to P8 right now. Let's look at this. Lars is right up the backside of Sniper. He's up the gearbox of him. He's turning on the ERS. He might actually look for a move here on the Sniper, but Sniper is using as well, though, to defend off of Lars. But Lars is there. Lars is going to go side by side. That is a risky move. As Nathan is retired, that might be on the track. And it's a safety car already in the third, about to enter the third lap. And we already have a safety car. Interesting. So this is going to really help. This is going to really help Astros. It's going to help Enzo. And it's going to help all the other drivers who were quite far back. As actually a few drivers deciding to pit. Which is a bit interesting. Jerome onto the hards. Seb onto the mediums. Foley. Oh no, Foley. Foley, I think, has tried to put on the mediums or the hards and has somehow ended up putting the enters on. In full dry conditions. I do not know what has happened there with Foley. He's probably tried to put... Foley was on hard, so he's probably tried to do mediums, but has clicked too much on the change in tyres, and has now ended up on the enters in a very, very sunny Japan. As you can see, he's going quite slow. He'll have to pit again, but he might already catch the safety car up by the time that he has to pit. As you can see already, it's only just Drone, Foley and Connor who we're waiting on right now to catch up to the safety car. And I think the safety car will be staying out for one more lap anyway. But AXA already back up into P9 from everyone pitting. Vespa up into P10 as well, taking advantage of everyone pitting and everyone spinning. Vespa's up into the points right now. As I imagine Foley will be pitting. As you can see, a few drivers are using the strat of the burn and fuel full accelerate while also holding the brake button. Quite a few drivers opting for that. You could see Foley and Sharon both doing it at the back there. Foley in the pits, right? Good. I would have been shocked if he wasn't Vespa's in, so I was talking about him being in points. He now pits and falls to the back of the grid. Well, actually, second last. As Foley is going to be in the pits, Kay will be going on to the hard tyres. I think the correct tyres which will need to be on. Actually, is Foley doing a masterclass here? He's went back onto his hard tyres. And I think maybe Foley was using that one pit stop and going on to the inters. And he was using that as his one pit stop for the race. So technically now, Foley doesn't need to pit. Now, hards do not go 27 laps. As I could tell you yesterday from me in F2, I was on 80% tire wear from 20 laps. So you definitely can't go a full race on hards, but maybe with safety cars, Foley might be able to actually try this. He could potentially go hard soft as well, so we're going to have to wait and see what he ends up doing. But we're going to go back to Jensen, as Jensen will be controlling the safety car. He's burning fuel, as most drivers are probably opting to doing this right now, are they? Thomas is, Jet is, Loki is, yeah, most drivers are opting to go for the burning fuel method. As I believe the safety car should be in this lap, as it has been 2 laps and everyone has caught up. It should be, and it is. So the safety car will be in this lap. Jensen will be leading the field with Ken, as Enzo has spun. Enzo spun trying to heat up the tyres. Thankfully, he's going to be able to catch up in time. But just like that, Enzo falls to the back of the grid. But we're going to have to go back up to Jensen, who's controlling the safety car. Will he go now out of the corner? Yes, he will. And Ken is left a bit behind. 8 tenths clear. Jensen is of Ken. And it's not going to be a whole massive DRS train. But who will get an overtake? As quite a few drivers are... Actually, all the drivers are waving to heat up their tyres down the straight. Only the closest drivers right now is Connor and Jerome. As Connor ascended on the inside of Jerome, Connor gets the move. That's a really good move from Connor. Jerome not having the confidence at all right now. As Jerome's front wing damages, Connor's actually gone. Jerome can't make the corner. Oh, Jerome is going to cause chaos here as Enzo tries to make the move. They're 3 wide as Jerome's went off track. I have no idea what was happening there, but we saw a beautiful move from Enzo on Foley whilst Jerome was there. But Jerome gets damage onto the safety car, I believe. And this race has just got even worse for Jerome. He's now second last of the grid. But we go back up to the top and look at this gap already established between Jensen and Kem. Already 1.4 second gap between them. And nearly a second gap between Ken and Luno as well. So Jensen clearly showing his dominant pace around Japan right now. As Sniper and Thomas both fighting, I believe Thomas got the move on Sniper into turn 14 and 15. Actually, no, 15 and 16, I mean, sorry. But just like that, Thomas, on the medium tyres, is up into P7 of this race. He'll definitely be looking to try use those medium tyres to his advantage. Same with Lars, who currently sits P5 on the mediums. They will definitely be wanting to use the medium tyres to their advantage as they can right now, as Jerome is in the pits and he is on the soft tyres as his front wing has been repaired, and he will be a bit far behind and will definitely have to hope for a safety car to get back into this race. But meanwhile, we go back up to the front. Jensen now 1.8 seconds clear of Ken in second right now. Jensen already on 50% ERS, Ken on 60, Luno on about 40. Yeah, so quite a few people have actually used up to about 30 to 50% of their batteries. Jensen is using the gain. So yeah, most drivers actually opting to use their battery right now quite a lot to keep up with the field. As you can see, Lars currently a big advantage point is Sniper and Axe are fighting. Sniper goes off the road. Is Axe going to send it on Sniper as we do not have a good angle whatsoever? But Panos gets overtaken by Thomas. But Panos might look to try get a move back. But we're going to look back as Sniper is defending off Axe. Axe goes to the inside, barely any room there. But Axe gets the position, I believe. Yes, Axe gets the position on Sniper, as Panos cannot get the position on Thomas ahead. Thomas having really good pace right now on the medium tyres. Oh, it's Thomas has a moment and he's on the grass. And he's just came out ahead of Panos, but Panos with the different lines could potentially look for a move back again. And this has dropped Thomas out of the DRS range of Lars, so he's going to be really pushing right now, as that could be a warning as well for Thomas there. As also, Thomas has no battery whatsoever, so he's been using to get up the field right now, as he has overtaken Sniper and Panos, of course, as yeah, he's using these literally on 4%. Unbelievable. But anyway, we can look back up. Luno might not be getting DRS off of Ken. Ken will definitely not be getting DRS. Luno is going to try stay in the DRS range. It's going to be really, really close. But I think he's going to get it. He has wasted most of his battery and sits on 10%, but Luno's just going to get DRS, as I think most drivers behind will be. Thomas will not though, as it's now a little train forming from P6 all the way back to P12. However, if you notice as well, it is a McLaren sandwich, which is quite funny to notice, as it is between As Jet and Sniper fighting, they're side by side into turn 1 and 2 there, I noticed. As I think Jacob there went a bit wide and Sniper got the switchback on him. As they fight for 1 or 2 points in this race right now. Of course, they don't want to fight that much because they want to be able to keep up with Axa, Panos and Thomas ahead, as Lars is nearly being dropped by Mikael Sorensen ahead. 1.1 second gap now. So potentially Lars might not even be getting DRS, but oh, Mikael goes quite wide there. That has definitely helped Lars. He's gained about 3.5 tenths on Mikael there from that mistake. But we can clearly see here Thomas definitely not able to keep up with the drivers in front, as Panos has been under pressure from Axa. Axa, the season 8 PlayStation F1 champion, is currently in P8 after spinning on the first lap from P2 for anyone who's just tuning in. The question is, when will Axa be able to get past Panos and Thomas? He gets a very, very good exit there, and I imagine he's going to look for a move here on Panos. Yes, he will. He will be using ERS. Panos will not be, and it is an easy move as Axa is now only behind Thomas on the medium tyres, and then he has to catch up by about 2.5 seconds to Lars, who is ahead in P5 right now. Is there any fight? Is Loki near enough to Seb as Enzo's also catching up behind, but what we have to notice as well is that Seb petted onto the safety car, so he has a little bit of fresher medium tyres compared to everyone else, as Jerome does get the fastest lap of the race, a 31.2 right now, as he is on the soft compound of tyre. But we can look back up to the front and we can see that Jensen right now 2.1 seconds clear of Ken, and then Ken is 1.5 seconds clear of Luno. So definitely the Ken and Jensen showing that they have really, really good pace around here, as I believe we just saw Luno have a massive mistake there. That has allowed Mikael to catch up. Lars has also managed to catch back up to Mikael. So a little train here for the final podium position. It'll be interesting to see what happens here, as remember Lars is on the medium tyres, so very different. But are we going to potentially see a move here from either Lars or Mikael on the other driver? No, we will not, but we will see a move on Axe. We will see a move from Axa on Thomas. Axa is past Thomas and up into P6, and now Axa, all he has to do is fight his way back up to catch up to Lars. The question is, how long will it take him? Will it take him a lap? Will it take him 2 laps? Or will it take him more than 2 laps? We're going to have to wait and find out. He's already gained 2 tenths on Lars. As Thomas's aim, I imagine, here will probably just to be sticking the DRS of Axa and just use him to keep him pulling him along. As the mediums will definitely be dying soon, they will be starting to fade away. As are many drivers, but we see Lars here really, really close to Mikael. Only a 10th behind. This is really, really close. As we could see Luno go a little wide there. Lars is going on the move for P4. He's going to make Mikael fight Axa eventually. And Lars is up into P4 right now on the medium tyres, as Mikael drops into P5, and we'll have Axa behind him chasing him down, as Axa gained about 6 tenths on that lap, so showing his pace is incredible right now, as he set a new PB of his lap there by 3.5 tenths. So clearly right now Axa is one of the fastest drivers on the grid right now, as Seb and Jacob are fighting. Actually, Seb's round from Jacob. Jacob and Seb fighting. He spun round. As Enzo is also round. 2 drivers spinning in turn 1, turn 2 right there. As Enzo falls down. Thomas is gone. on the mediums, trying to hang on to the back of AXA, has now came a bit of revenge to him as Foley's trying to look past, but Thomas is defended after spinning, but he's off again. But we can look back up now. It's now Panos to try hang on to AXA, and AXA's already within a second range of Mikel, sorry. So he's already in the DRS and within the chance of getting a podium position already, AXA. So this is an incredible recovery drive already from him. As that is your own round in Sector 1, I believe that is, yeah. But we're going to go back up to Jensen. Jensen 3 seconds clear of Ken, and Ken being 2 seconds clear of Luno, so definitely two fast drivers. But the question is, if AXA was able to catch up, would AXA be able to overtake them, is the question. Are we maybe going to see a move here? Lars fighting for the podium position. He's going to go down the inside on Luno, and he's going to get the move done before the corner. And like that, Lars on 11 lap of mediums is up into the podium position. And now it's Lars' job to try catch up to Ken. As AXA fighting right behind Mikel here. Will be really interesting to see if AXA can end up getting a podium here today. He's definitely shown the capable pace to be able to do so. As I think he might try going a move on the DRS straight on Mikel here. He's really, really close to him. Mikel's fallen back from Luno as well, who's in P4 right now. AXA's showing such dominant pace right now. Has a little bit of less ERS though. Jerome, is that Jerome? Yeah, that is Jerome gone at the back again. But it's going to be AXA against Mikel Sorensen here. It's the battle to watch for P5. As AXA does get a good exit. And yes, he will turn on ERS. I was right. And I think it's going to be quite a relatively easy pass for AXA, as he's going to get the move done before the corner. And like that, AXA is back up into P5 of this race. As Luno gets a 3-second time penalty. So AXA is currently in P4 actually with that penalty. Interesting. As I believe Luno keeps on cutting turn 1. He keeps on going too wide at turn 1. As that is yellow flags. It's Seb at the back. Well, not at the back, but in P12. He has spun round and drops to P13. He spun in the first sector. If we look here, Jensen. Unbelievable pace right now. Interesting to note as well, Lars is catching up to Ken. He's gained 2.5 tenths on Ken here, as that is Vespa spun round just at the end of Sector 1, as he will now be closely followed behind by Loki, as I believe he's gone again. Yep, Vespa is gone again. But we're going to watch the front as Luno potentially out of DRS range from Lars. I think he's going to get it though. Yes, he will. As Lars is on 5% ERS. He's barely on anything. As AXA is going to be behind Luno. Will he look for a move right now? No, he will not. Mikel Sorensen is dropping behind AXA. He's now a second back. As Luno has went a bit wide there. We could see from Mikel's POV right there. But Luno looking quite fast right now, as of course Lars is in the mediums. There was 2 laps of safety cars. Vespa has retired in the pit lane. I thought it might be on track, but no, it is in the pit lane, which is good to see. as Lars is dropping a bit behind right now, as Ken is being pulled along by Jerome, I believe that is. It is. So I'm not saying teamwork right here, but Jerome isn't wanting Ken to be, isn't letting Ken pass, but Ken is going to absolutely love this, as Ken's going to get DRS, I think. Actually, it might be close. I don't think he will. We're going to have to see. He might. Ken might get DRS. Does he? No, he doesn't. So Ken doesn't get DRS. So Jerome managed to pull out a bit of enough time there. But we see loads of drivers pitting. We see Lars in. Axa is in. Sniper is in. So quite a few drivers actually going in right now. Axa on the mediums, Sniper on the mediums, Lars on the hards. As this will be the time to pit. But the question is, where are they going to come out? I believe most of them are going to be coming out, yeah, they're going to be coming out P11, 12, 13. The triple of Lars, Axa and Sniper. But we have to look out and see if Axa is able to get past Lars here, because Lars will be defending Axa, because of course Lars is on the hards, Axa is on the mediums. You can see how much more traction there is between the tyres. Axa is right up behind Lars. He might send it here. He gets the better traction. He turns on the ERS. He's going to send it into turn 11 as he gets the move done before the corner. Lars goes a bit wide and allows Axa through, pretty much. But we're going to look back up to the front. Is Jensen going to be in? It's the question. Jensen will not be in. Will Ken be in? Is another question. Ken will not be in. Will Luno? Luno is in. Mikael is not. Panos is not. Jacob is not. Foley is not. So Luno only deciding. So the only Luno deciding to go into the new tyres right now. It's that was yellow flags, but I'm not sure for who. Was it Axa? No, it wasn't. I'm not sure. I'm lost who it was for. But Luno coming out the pits, and Axa is ahead of Luno. Was that the case in the actual before we pitted? No, it wasn't. So Axa's over. Actually, no, undercut. Axa has undercut. That is interesting. Axa has undercut. Is that his yellow flags? Is that Loki? Astros? I'm not so sure. It's a bit glitched right now. It's showing yellow flags across near the whole track. I'm not sure, but Jensen's using. So I think Jensen's in this lap. He's on 0 ERS. So I think Jensen's been on a full push lap here. And I imagine he's going to go into the pits now for the mediums, is my guess. Is he in? Yes, he is. Will Ken follow, is the question. Ken will. Mikael, will he follow? Yes. Panos, I imagine, will be in as well. Yep, so most drivers who have stayed out are now opting to come in. Everyone actually is opting to come in. Foley has to stay out because of Panos pitting. So that means Foley's going to take the lead of this race. As he will have to go one more lap on the hard tyres. As, interestingly enough, Thomas is staying out, but I think Thomas will be going on to the softs. I think, yeah, Thomas, both McLarens are going to go for a soft strategy, which is interesting. Interesting enough, he separates Axa from Ken and is holding up Axa right now. Actually, not really, because Ken's on cold tyres. Seb's on old tyres, but warmed up tyres. Is Axa. Axa's going to send it! What a risky move. Axa sends it on Seb and gets the move. As Axa doesn't want to be held up anymore. As Axa wants to get Ken, because Ken would be in net P2, of course. But that is AXA currently right now in net P3. So just like that, AXA is back up into the podium position. As I imagine Foley will be pitting this lap, but it's not going to be the greatest for him, as it will be him dropping back, I think, near to the back of the grid, near enough, because of having to stay out this extra lap. As Jensen is going to take back the lead of this race, and will have, I think that is, if let me get this right, as Ken is getting the move on Thomas, I didn't see there, but Ken's back up to P2, but Jensen has a 4.5 second gap to the drivers behind. So Jensen is clear of everyone right now, but we have to pay attention to AXA. AXA's being held up by Thomas here. Thomas actually on older tyres than Seb was, as AXA's taking the different lines. Is he going to do another overtake on the McLaren here? Yes, he is. He's going to go around the outside this time, and is going to get the move done before this corner. So AXA gets the move done on both McLaren drivers in the 2 separate laps at turn 8, just before turn 8. He gets the move, as AXA is now fully using to try catch up to Ken, as AXA currently doesn't have DRS on Ken. It's going to be close. AXA might not actually get DRS right now, as Mikael Sorensen and Enzo are fighting. I believe Mikael has got past, but Enzo wasn't going to give up the fight that easily. But Enzo has nothing, but Enzo has Luno up behind him. Luno switches sides and is going to get the position. Enzo's right there, look at it, he's literally right there. Oh! What a send by Lars. That was a bit of a mad set from Lars as Enzo dives into the pits. And this is set Lars up quite nicely for Sniper if he wanted to try and make a move, but he's not. I believe AXA did not get DRS that lap, as Mikael is fighting with both McLarens. The McLarens working together right now to hold up the fields. Look at this, defending from the McLarens. As Seb has 4 drivers behind him, eager to get past. As Mikael's going on the move on Thomas, but Thomas shoves him off wide a little bit there. This is brilliant defending, but Mikael gets the better traction out of turn 10, I believe, and he's going to send it. He's going to go round the outside, and he gets the move. So now it's a double McLaren trying to defend off the rest of the drivers behind. As Panos and Sniper are side by side. Actually, no, it's Panos and Luno side by side, my mistaken. As Luno stays ahead, but the McLarens now, both just going extremely slow, as both of them will be pitting. Team orders, Thomas is letting Seb past, but that means Lars is being the rocket ship and is going past. Luno is trying to get past as well, as Thomas brakes at the corner. Nearly crashes out Panos. Sniper sends it on them. And all of a sudden McLarens have dropped back like flies as Thomas has spun round even. Oh my days. This is something. But Luno is past Seb. Will Panos be past? They're going to actually go side by side into the corner. Please, no contact. Panos is passed. Thomas has retired in the pit lane and has left the session. Sniper is past Seb now as well. Seb will probably pit on to the softs, I imagine, and then I'm trying to think, would he go on the softs for fastest lap? I believe Enzo might actually be trying to do that. Enzo might be going for fastest lap as he's on the mediums, yeah. Enzo's using, so I think Enzo is currently trying to go for the fastest lap on a set of medium tyres, which is interesting. But look at this gap between Jensen. It's like Adam compared to me yesterday. Currently a 6.5 second gap between Jensen and Ken. As Axa is now in the DRS range of Ken, I believe he has been for a few laps. As I see Luno closing up behind Lars. Are we going to see a move? Lars not having DRS on Mikael now. As Jet is past Yib, Jet is up into P9, so that would be 2 points for him. As are we seeing any moves? Luno staying really close to Lars, having Panos and Sniper both behind him. This is the train which we want to be watching right now. Lars, Luno, Panos and Sniper. This is the battling which we want to see happen at the end of the race. Also Jet to Foley, and then Axa and Ken for second and third on the podium. As I am losing my voice, my throat is so dry as... Oh no! Migrating host, Jeroen's left the session. So this could cause maybe internet issues. We hope not. Axa's got past Ken. Axa has used DRS. And is actually going to let Ken get DRS. Interesting. Sniper. Something happened to Lars. Lars was P5. Lars has now fallen to the back of this train. I do not know what's happened there, but all of a sudden, Luno P5, Panos P6, Sniper P7, and Lars P8. But remember, Luno's a 3-second time penalty. But Axa already pulled a 1.7 second gap. This is unbelievable. As that is Seb retired in the pit lane as well. So both IRT drivers, both in the McLaren, both retired from the race. As Jet is past Lars as well. Wow, so Lars' hards are just not good right now. But they will definitely be good in a few laps time when everyone's mediums start to become very dead. But of course Lars has to notice as well that Jet is... Actually, Lars is AI, I think. That's why he's dropping back. He's just lost a whole second to Jacob. I believe Lars is AI. Unless he's just came back now. No, Lars is AI, I think. No, I think he's back now. But Lars being AI for a little bit there has caused him to drop back from P5 to P9. And remember as well, Jacob... Oh, Mikael and Ken! Where did Mikael come from? All of a sudden, Mikael's up into the podium position. And Ken is left out of the podiums now. After being in the podium the whole race, pretty much. Ken all of a sudden is out of a podium position and will be P4 right now. Is Ken's dropping back so much? Is Ken AI? Ken's in AI mode. That's why Ken's dropping back so much. Ken's in AI. What's happened? Ken's ghosted. Ken's in AI mode. He's losing all of his positions, which he's made. Ken, what's happening? And all of a sudden, with Ken being in AI mode, he drops from a podium position down to P7. Lars as well. Oh, don't tell me this is because of Jeroen leaving the session and then it's glitched the whole lobby. Please tell me this isn't the case. I hope it's not. But that's a heartbreak for Ken, as Luno is now having to defend off Panos and Sniper behind as Loki gets the move on Foley. Jet gets the move on Ken's AI now as well. Oh, it's so unfortunate. That might be Ken back, genuinely cannot tell. But look at this gap, this is unbelievable. Jensen is showing that he is the championship contender right now. Winning in Bahrain, and then currently winning here as well by a big margin. As, oh, that's Loki round. Loki spun round from point position to just outside of the points now. As the lobby, I think since Ron's left, the lobby's kaputted. As Ken and Lars both be in AI mode, I believe. It's been... Apparently Ken is P3. So, is Loki spun on track? I think. Right? Is that a virtual safety car? No. Ken P3, Lars P5. Oh! Wait. So, oh my days. So, my POV is completely glitched. Ken and Lars is actually still fighting in the race. It's just we cannot see. So, Ken right now is actually still in P3. And apparently Lars is in P5 right now. Although it's glitched for us. Focus on Panos. That isn't glitched, yeah. I am definitely focused on Panos. Panos has Luno and Sniper behind. As Panos locks up, and now it's showing Ken's in the lead of this race. This lobby, man. I don't know what's happening. And now it says Lars is lead. And now it says Foley. The lobby's just... Watch Panos only. But it says Panos is P9 now. Because, oh, we got overtaken by Luno and Sniper, that's why. But we're on the last lap of this race. And Jensen is the leader of this race right now. Yeah, Jensen is the leader of this race. Our lobby is glitched. But, so what? It's now been moved back up. Jensen, an unbelievable race win today. He wins in Bahrain. And he's going to win in Japan. He's going to win a lot more dominantly this time as Jensen comes... Oh, wait, no. Have we got one more lap? I hate this. It literally said that we were on lap 27 and 27. I was about to say that he's won the race. This lobby, man. As... now saying Ken's back up in the lead. This is... We're watching Panos. This fight between Sniper and Luno is genuine. What is going to happen between these two drivers is the question. As Luno is going to have to massively back off Sniper here. As Luno fights for points, a high amount of points I should say. As Sniper is taking better lines right now, he's trying to take better speed. as Luna goes wide, and this has allowed Sniper to slip past. And like that, Sniper's passed up into P7, maybe like P6 or P5 for the lobby glitches, I think. But this is unbelievable. Sniper gets the overtake on Luno in the last few corners. But we're going to watch Jensen. This is for real this time. Jensen is going to have an 8-second gap lead to AXA. And Jensen is going to win 2 in a row. 2 out of 2 wins in his ERO career. Jensen wins in Japan. So that is now 2 wins out of 2 for Jensen. As AXA is going to come across the line for a P2. And then I believe it is Ken. Is it Ken? Yes, it is Ken. The lobby actually fixed itself. Ken is P3. Ken gets a podium in Japan. It's then Mikael in P4. We have Lars in P5, Sniper P6, Panos P7, Foley P8, Jet P9, Luno P10, and Enzo P11, I believe. As we just wait for Enzo now. I think Enzo actually going for the fastest lap of this race, I believe. As we're going to have to see, he's not using the ERS. He's a second up on his PB though. As Lars is absolutely loving it right now. As it's not even showing Enzo crossing the line. That is just... I don't know. So glitched. As AXA gets driver of the day very deservingly. That is an absolutely brilliant recovery drive from AXA. He goes from P2 to spinning on the first corner to back up to P2. No wonder he got driver of the day. That definitely should be AXA as driver of the week potentially. As here is the final results. Jensen gets his second win of the season and extends the lead of his championship. AXA will be in P2 after a brilliant recovery drive from P2 all the way down to P18 and back up to P2 from. Then we have Ken in P3. Ken getting a podium. Brilliant race from him. And then Mikael Sorensen in P4. A nice drive after disconnecting in Bahrain last week. And then have Lars. Absolutely brilliant drive from Lars. He's very happy with it in the Discord chat. P13 to P5 for him. Winning of Sniper P11 to P6. A very good race from him. We have Panos in P7. We have Foley in P8. We have Jacob or Jet in P9. And we have Luno in P10. We have Enzo in P11. However, he did take the fastest lap, so he does take away a point. And then out of the people who have DNF'd, we have Loki, Seb, Thomas, Astros, Jerome, Vespa, and Nathan. Wow, what a race. That was brilliant. What a race. Alright, we're going to do interviews, so let me see if I can add the people I have. Let's see. Who am I adding? I'm adding Jensen, I'm adding Ken, and I'm adding AXA. Add all 3 of them, and hopefully it adds all of them. Yes, it has. Very good. Hello. We'll just wait for everyone to join because I think.
Just 2 seconds, I'm changing connection.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. As I wonder if Ken might do an interview. If not, I will start off. I think I'll start off with Jensen, as Axa did say that he's changing connection, but we'll see if Ken joins first. As Ken is here.
Hello.
Hello. So we'll start since Ken's here. We'll start off with P3 and work our way up to the winner. So Ken, our POV was a bit glitched, so we didn't actually know that you were still in P3 until the finish line. As for us, it's shown that you were AI for like half the race.
Alright.
So we exactly didn't know. But anyway, congrats on your podium. You were up there the whole race. Of course, you were clear along with Jensen of drivers behind like Luno and the other drivers, and overall you can give like maybe a little race overview of how you think it went.
Well, the qualifying was kinda alright. Before I think I could have got 28.8 maybe. But anyways, I got a good start, got past Luno, and then I had to avoid Axe because he spun in the the first corner. But then I really tried to stay in P2 and get to 1 second gap to Luno because I didn't think that I could got Jensen. And well, yeah, the race was kinda lonely one, and then Axe got back to me and past me, so he made a great recovery. So yeah, nothing else to say. But GG's to Jensen and Axe.
Yeah, you were very good driving today. Of course, your quality was very good. One of the drivers to be in the 28s. So overall, really good race for you. Axa, have you changed your connection?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask you some questions. Of course, that first lap spin, a heartbreak from P2 all the way down to last. But what a recovery drive. Definitely, I mean, I'm sorry, Jensen, but AXA, I think, gets driver of the day, I think, if anything.
Oh yeah, thanks, mate.
But, of course, recovery drive, overtaking both McLarens at turn, what turn is it? Turn 8, I think it was? Like, the previous lap after, yeah, turn 8. And overall, how do you think your race went, having to battle up through the field?
Yeah. First of all, congrats to Jensen for the win and to Ken for the podium. Yeah, the start, I think I took a better start than Jensen, so I tried to overtake him. But as I think everyone saw, I was lagging a bit, so I tried to to stay on the right, to not touch Jensen, and then I took the curb, I spun, and I was P P P P
Was it
P
like
last.
18? You ever
Yeah,
like?
yeah, P last.
Yeah.
And yeah, I tried to come back. I tried some risky move, so I really enjoyed to come back. It was quite fun two overtakes in before Degner 1, so it was really nice. Then yeah, as Jensen noticed in the Discord with the fastest lap, when I overtook Ken, I had like 40% ERS, so I tried to burn everything with the GRS to get the fastest lap. Uh, I just remember that the fastest lap at this moment I remember the fastest lap was a 0.8. So I said to my teammate to go for the fastest lap
Yeah.
to keep a points on Jensen. But I tried to do it, and so I said to Enzo the fastest lap is 0.8, but I don't know the 0.8, and yeah, maybe it was 0.8. So
Yeah.
I did I did 1,000 slower than Jensen.
Oh.
So when I did 0.8, I said, oh, I saw 0.8, so I think I'm I don't get it by a few thousand of the second. So yeah,
Yeah,
I was a bit
and
disappointed about this, but it was still a nice recovery, so I'm happy about it, about this.
yeah, still a really good recovery. Of course, Enzo did get the fastest lap in the end. I think he beat Jensen by a second. Was on softs though, new set of
Yeah,
softs. But of course, just to take the point off of him. And now we'll move to Jensen. 2 wins in a row now. A lot more dominant this time. I think it was like an 8-second gap. I think it was. Overall, how do you think your race went? Just chilling up at front.
Yeah, felt very controlled. But first off, congrats to um, who was it, Ken and Assy, or Orlean. Still struggling to get it right, but yeah, well done on that recovery drive back to P2. And of course, Ken showing some really good pace as well today. But yeah, other than that, it's just very, very nice, comfortable drive. I'd say from the safety car onwards, because Ken was kind of keeping there on the first couple of laps, but then the safety car came and I managed to get the gap, and just carried on building on from that all the way through the race, and then the pit stops came and just carried on building throughout the rest of the race. And yeah, I thought I was like in the clear of the fastest lap, but Orlean's teammate managed to snag it at the end, so no maximum points, but I mean, I'll take that as 2 for 2, so not
Yeah.
too bad.
Yeah, should definitely be happy with 2 wins in a row. Does anyone want to say anything else before I end off the stream?
no.
Okay, so that is us for Ero PlayStation F1. You can come back next week at the same time, Sunday, 6 p.m. GMT, and we will be racing in Spain, in Barcelona. So definitely tune into that. We can see maybe Jensen goes maybe 3 for 3, potentially, if you're
I
racing.
hope not.
if he's racing. But anyway, thank you to everyone who watched that race. It was a pleasure to commentate it, and we will see you all next week.